If you've ever tried to lose weight, you know how hard it is to stay full in a calorie deficit. Today, I'm taking you through a full day of high protein, seriously satisfying meals. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, and yes, even dessert that help me stay full while still hitting my health goals. Let's get into it. Everyone's calorie needs are different. If you are on a weight loss or health journey of any kind and you've never spoken with a registered dietitian, I cannot recommend highly enough Nourish. Nourish helped me get my registered dietitian covered 100% under preventative care. If I hadn't had Nourish to intervene on my behalf, I would have been paying $40 a session to meet with my registered dietitian. But because of their expertise, I was able to get that coverage for free, and her advice has been absolutely invaluable. She's a fantastic accountability partner. She's my cheerleader. I meet with her once a week and I absolutely love her. It is 100% free for you to use. So if you're interested in checking them out, I have a link down in the description. I've currently set a calorie goal of 1,900 calories a day with my registered dietitian, but everyone's caloric needs are different. If you don't have the ability to meet with a registered dietitian through Nourish to figure out your specific calorie goal, I highly recommend using a TDEE calculator as a starting point. Then you can adjust from there. My day always starts with breakfast. I never used to be a big breakfast person, but when I started this journey on Wegovy back in October of 2021, I knew that I wasn't gonna be able to eat really large meals. So it was key for me to eat throughout the day. And starting my day now with breakfast is just second nature. I have to have breakfast in the morning. And this breakfast in particular is one that I've eaten throughout like 99% of my journey. It includes 2 fried eggs, 2 pieces of chicken maple breakfast sausage from Applegate, 6 tots that I cook in the air fryer, and a little bowl of a yogurt parfait of some kind. The macros on this meal are immaculate. I will put them on the screen here, and it's time to eat. All right, y'all, breakfast was delicious. I wanna talk a little bit about protein. You've heard a lot of talk about protein and how important it is for weight loss, and I have an entire video on that. If you've never seen it, please check it out here. After you watch this one, of course. Protein is important for a lot of reasons, but for our purposes today, the most important thing you need to know about protein is that it is the slowest macronutrient to break down in your system. It almost works like a natural Wegovy or Ozempic in like the fact that those medications work by slowing down your digestion. Protein does that naturally. So the more protein you eat, the longer you will feel full. Also, fiber is fantastic for that, but that's a whole other video. My goal is to get at least 25 to 30% of my calories from protein every single day. And for the most part, I meet that goal without an issue, as long as I'm working with recipes that are focusing on maximizing the amount of protein that I use as opposed to fat or even some carbohydrates. I do still eat more carbs and fat than I do protein. I try to break up the other 70% or so of my calories evenly between carbs and fat. So I do still eat a fairly high carb diet at around 35 to 45% of my calorie intake, and I lose weight just fine. If you are the kind of person that loves carbs, please don't fall into the trap of thinking that you have to eat low carb to lose weight. It is absolutely not mandatory. You just need to do whatever is sustainable and what works for you. I'm about ready to head out to the gym for a strength training workout. I work out 2 times a week at my local Planet Fitness, and I use workouts prepared for me by my Train Well trainer, Chris. If you've never heard me talk about Train Well before, I will link some videos down here below for you guys to check out. I don't like to go to the gym like immediately after I eat. I always end up feeling a little gross and kind of nauseous. So like sometimes I'll eat like a tiny snack before I go to the gym, but today I have the time to go pretty early in the day, so I'm gonna be just fine without anything. I wanted to get started on a little bit of prep for my lunch. Today for lunch, we're gonna be having some high protein egg salad. Eggs are already high in protein. Why would it be a high protein egg salad? Because most of the time egg salad consists of a lot of mayonnaise, and mayonnaise is extremely high in fat. I love mayonnaise. Food lube is my jam, but at 100 calories per tablespoon, can't really fit a whole lot of that into a deficit. Many moons ago, probably about a year ago, I tried egg salad with cottage cheese instead of mayonnaise, and it was absolutely delicious. But this time I'm gonna try it by adding just a little bit of light mayonnaise in with the cottage cheese, and I think it's gonna be perfection. This could have been meal prepped ahead of time, but I have the day off today, so I'm just doing it as I go. Just a little bit ago, I went ahead and put 10 eggs in my pressure cooker with 1 cup of water, put it to sealing, set it to high, and I'm gonna let it go for 5 minutes. When that's done, I'm gonna let it do a 5-minute natural release. There it goes. So I'm gonna start a 5-minute timer, and when that 5-minute timer goes off, I will release the rest of the pressure. I already put together a bowl of ice water. I just filled it up with ice, put a bunch of water in it, and I'm letting it sit in the fridge until my eggs are ready to come out. As soon as that 5-minute timer is done and the pressure is released, I'm gonna take the eggs out of the pressure cooker, put them straight into that ice bath, and I'm gonna actually let them sit in the fridge and cool completely while I'm at the gym. Normally, I would just peel them right then and there and start working on the egg salad, but I'm gonna get my workout in before I start working on my lunch. Let's go to the gym. Well, that was a workout. I am a little shaky and a lot tired. I came home, got those eggs out of the fridge, peeled them all up, and I'll tell you what, peeling eggs after they've been cooked in the Instant Pot, I don't know what the pressure does, but man, it really helps a lot. I just slide my thumb underneath the skin and it just peels right off. And then if you cut your egg like an avocado, you know how you cut around the pit? So you just run your knife around until you meet the resistance of that yolk. You can just take them apart and then pop the yolks right into the bowl. I'm gonna go ahead and use my food processor because I am gonna use cottage cheese in this recipe, and I like the cottage cheese blended. In here, I have 130 grams, 170 grams, I'll write it on the screen right here, of 2% cottage cheese. You can use non-fat if you want. And then I have 2 tablespoons or 30 grams of light mayo. I use Duke's because Duke's is the best mayo, in my opinion. So I'm gonna throw this in here with my egg yolks. And then I'm just gonna season this up how I like. I season this the same way that I season my deviled eggs. So you can either use Dijon mustard or mustard powder. I'm opting for mustard powder? Ground mustard. That's what I'm gonna use. A little bit of Worcestershire sauce, a little bit of white vinegar. So let's add some seasoning. You can season yours however you want. I'm just gonna do the dang thing. This doesn't need a lot of salt because the cottage cheese is quite salty, but I am gonna add a little bit of salt. Some garlic powder, onion powder. What is it about onion powder that always clumps? Do you see that? Rude. It is not old. It has not been around a long time, and yet it always clumps. Little onion powder. I'm gonna use some white pepper, but you can obviously use black if that's what you have on hand and prefer. I just like the flavor of the white pepper. Ground mustard or Dijon mustard or yellow mustard, whatever you prefer. It's the awesome thing about cooking at home. You can make stuff taste like you like it, okay? A couple shakes of Wash Your Sister sauce and a little splash of white vinegar. You could also do lemon juice, lime juice. Again, the theme here is season it how you like. And I'm gonna add a couple shakes of MSG because I like it. If you don't like it, don't add it. Just a couple shakes, a pinch, if you will. All right, and then I'm gonna whiz this up. Very nice, very nice. It needs more mustard. I'm gonna do the Dijon. A little bit of Dijon to loosen it up. I'm also gonna add a little hot sauce and a little paprika in there. In case you didn't know, this is something I learned recently. Paprika is just dried red pepper, like bell pepper. Did you know that? Ooh, smooth like butter. Yes, I like that very much. It is cheesy, which I like. I enjoy that very much. But I mean, that's the thing that's gonna happen with the cottage cheese. It doesn't taste like cottage cheese, it just tastes cheesy, creamy and cheesy. So that's it for my mixture. Let me clean up a little bit and then I'll be right back. Let's put this together. This is a meat masher. I'm sure you have one. It's not just for mashing meat. I love using this for like making guacamole, for shredding up meat like chicken and pork and stuff like that. But it's also great for egg salad. Rather than going through and cutting each individual little egg, we're just gonna go through it like this and it'll mash them all up. I also have one of those little hard-boiled egg slicers. This is still faster and it gets them nice and small and I'm good with it. Now, we're gonna put in our egg yolk, cottage cheese, mayo seasoning concoction here. Okay, Mindy, enough with the OCD. It's good enough. Just fold the whites into the yolks. And this is enough for 5 wraps for me for this week. Now I'm just gonna put this together in a wrap. You can obviously use some low-calorie bread. I've done this with the Sara Lee Delightfuls bread. You can just eat it with a spoon if you want, but I like it with some sort of bread. The Sara Lee Delightfuls is delicious, but this week I decided I just wanted to do a high fiber wrap. I'll show you my favorite ones. I love the La Banderita carb counter tortillas. These come in a ton of different sizes. These are the soft taco size, which you can see they're quite large. These only have 60 calories per wrap, 4 grams of protein, 12 grams of fiber. Good for your guts. Throw together this wrap, and then I'm gonna eat it with some high protein chips. I prefer the Atkins ones to the Quest ones. The ranch flavor ones are my favorite. It's 140 calories for the whole bag. It has 13 grams of protein. The macros on these aren't quite as good as the Quest ones, but they're so close, and I like the texture and flavor of these better. Let's throw together this plate and give it a taste, shall we? I am so excited about this. That's the one nice thing about doing it as a wrap as opposed to a sandwich. Like, it's a little easier to keep everything contained. Oh, those chips are so good. I will pop the macros exactly as I'm eating it now on the screen here. An easy way to bring the calories down on this would be to sub out some fruit for the chips. Obviously, it's gonna take away some of the protein, but this meal has a ton of protein in it. You would probably be just fine. That kind of brings me to tracking calories. I know that tracking calories is very triggering for a lot of people, so if it's not for you, then don't do it. There's lots of ways around that. There are a lot of people that create recipes and post recipes that already have the calories and macros attributed to them, and you can just plug those into a meal plan for the week. I have used macro-friendly food for years. It is a recipe subscription service, costs me about 10 bucks a month. It already comes pre-logged in Lose It, Macros First, which is the one that I use, and MyFitnessPal, with all of the macros already included. And it already has all of the weights for the serving sizes as well. With this one, because I made the recipe myself, I plugged the recipe into Macros First. And the thing that I love about Macros First is that it has a space at the bottom for you to put the total weight of the recipe. And then when you put in the number of servings, it will automatically calculate a serving size for you based on that total weight. So the way I calculate is just by weighing the dish that I'm going to put it in empty. And then after I add all of the contents to that dish, I weigh it afterwards, subtract the empty dish from the full dish, and that's the total number of grams for the entire dish. So I know exactly what a serving size for this is gonna look like. Now, I'm the only one eating this week, so I wouldn't really need to do that. Like, I could just eyeball it, but it's nice to know that I'm getting the same amount in every lunch instead of having a much bigger serving one day and a much smaller serving another day. If I'm not feeling as hungry and I want a smaller serving, it makes it a lot easier to adjust the amount of calories that I'm consuming with confidence. I can just put however much I feel like eating in the bowl, weigh it, put that weight into the app, and then it tells me exactly how many calories I'm eating. I say exactly, but all calories are an approximation, but obviously the more accurate you can be with your weights and measurements, the closer that accuracy can be. If you are not somebody who has ever tracked calories and it feels extremely overwhelming for you, I highly recommend looking for something like Macro Friendly Food. I have a list of creators and websites that I love to use that all include calories and macros for their recipes. So you can also start that way if tracking calories feels overwhelming or triggering to you in any way. I enjoy tracking my calories. It's almost like a game to me, but I know that that's not the case for everybody. So I'm gonna enjoy this lunch, and then I'll probably get in a shower because I'm feeling a little crusty. And then I'll meet you guys back to work on dessert for tonight. Much better. Before we get into making tonight's dessert, I want to talk to you guys a little bit about some of my favorite snacks. I'm still pretty full from lunch, so I don't know if I'm gonna actually eat any snacks today, but my favorites lately have been watermelon. We're in the thick of summer. I love how hydrating it is, and it's kind of like a nice little sweet treat without being a sweet treat. I don't know. And of course, like all fruit, very, very low in calorie. Fruit is a great snacking option if you want to eat high volume. 250 grams of watermelon is about 75 calories. In order to make that snack last a little longer and add a little bit of protein, I've been eating my watermelon with some string cheese. It's 60 calories for one little thing. My last favorite snack a couple weeks ago, Nikki and I taste tested all of the different flavors of Drizzlicious. They're these little mini rice cakes. They're drizzled with chocolate and different flavors and stuff like that. My favorites right now are the birthday cake and the s'mores. The salted caramel is also delicious. If you missed that video, I'll link it down here, but super delicious, and only 90 calories a serving for 21 of those little tiny rice cakes. And it feels like a treat, but hardly any calories. They're packed with flax and chia and all sorts of good ingredients. I can get a 10 pack of the individually portioned bags, so I don't have to worry about just like gorging myself on a whole giant bag of them. And it's like $7, $7.50, somewhere around there. So 75 cents a bag to me is a great deal for an individually portioned, calorie controlled, delicious little chocolatey snack. Before we get into making today's dessert, I do want to talk to you guys a little bit about sustainability. A lot of people, including me, when they go to approach weight loss, approach it with the mindset of, I just want to do whatever I can do to lose the weight the fastest, and then I can eat like a normal person, and then I can do whatever I want. I think the biggest change for me this time was approaching it from a mindset of learning how to feed myself for the rest of my life. I know that I love food. I know that I love carbs. I know that I love sweets. So for me, it's all about finding ways to tweak recipes to make them a little lower in calorie, a little higher in protein, so that they'll keep me full longer and I can have a decent portion instead of a teeny tiny little portion of the full fat, full calorie version that won't really do much to keep me full for very long. I also know that I'm not gonna sustain a diet that's low carb or that's extremely restrictive. I love a sweet treat at the end of the night, so I always plan one in my meal plan, and this week is no exception. When I saw that H-E-B was giving free bags of pita chips, they have some cinnamon sugar pita chips, y'all, that are so delicious. And unfortunately, I was not the only one that got the memo about the free pita chips. And when I went to go and pick mine up, the cinnamon sugar ones were all gone. But I did pick up some vanilla ones, and it gave me the idea to try the high protein cannoli dip that everybody's been talking about. So let's go throw that together so that we can give it a try later on tonight and see what we think. This is going to be a super simple, quick and easy recipe to throw together. Only 2 ingredients-ish. We're going to use some low-fat or part-skim ricotta, whichever one you prefer. And then we're also going to use some vanilla Greek yogurt of your choice. Mine is this 000 Oikos vanilla. It's a blended Greek yogurt, so it's not quite as sour as a lot of the other Greek yogurts that I've tried. And this may be all that we need. I'm going to have to test it for sweetness, and then we'll see if we need to add a little sweetener. Start with 15 ounces of ricotta. If you're not a fan of cottage cheese, ricotta is a good substitute. I actually substitute cottage cheese for ricotta in most recipes, but I wanted to give this a try with just the ricotta because that's so traditional for cannoli filling. Whoop! Stay in there, friend. Oh, and of course I chose a container that was way too small. Yeah, we'll be all right. And I already weighed this container so that I can do the same trick where I divide it by the number of servings so that I can get the right serving size per portion. This is gonna make 4 servings of cannoli dip. To the ricotta, I'm gonna add 180 grams of my Greek yogurt. I'm just gonna mix this up. Can't really get much easier than that. I've seen other recipes that include like cream cheese and stuff like that, probably to make it taste more like mascarpone. You could up the protein even more by incorporating some protein powder. I don't think we're gonna need it. I think it's gonna be fine just like it is. A little splishy splash of vanilla. I'm gonna add a tiny bit of salt. I'm gonna give that a taste and see if I want any sweetener added to this. I like the flavor, but it is lacking in sweetness. I'm gonna add a little sweetener to it. And I'm just gonna go with a 0-calorie sweetener. I have some Sweet and Low for sweetening tea and things like that. So I'm just gonna put a packet of that in there. You can just do whatever 0-calorie sweetener you prefer. If you were to add vanilla protein powder to this, it definitely would add to the sweetness as well. So you could do that instead of sweetener and it would add more protein to it. I'm just not sure what it would do to the texture. I'm gonna leave that to hang out in my fridge, and later I'll put some mini chocolate chips on top and we'll give it a taste with some pita chips. Hello friends. Sorry that I am so very bright. We get nothing or we get everything, and that is how it is. I live in a cave. Tonight we're making a creamy chicken gnocchi. I've never made this recipe before, so I have no idea what it's gonna taste like. So we're gonna find out together and hopefully it'll be delicious. I will link the recipe inspiration down below, but I am, as usual, doing my own thing with it because I don't feel like boiling gnocchi separately. I'm going to cook it in with the pasta, and I am going to add some milk to it because I want it to be creamy and not just pesto-y. I'm gonna start with a little bit of oil in the pan. I hope you guys are okay being over there. You'll see, it'll be just fine. So I just need like a teaspoon of oil, not doing a whole lot. And I'm gonna add in a whole carton of mushrooms. An 8-ounce container of sliced mushrooms. I got them already sliced from the store because it was worth the extra 30 cents to me not to have to slice them. And I season every layer, so I'm gonna add a little bit of salt and a little bit of pepper. I'm just gonna let those hang out in the pan until they are mostly cooked. Okay, that is good enough. This is what they look like, see? They still have a little ways to go, but there's still lots more cooking to do, so I'm good with it. I'm gonna add a little more spray oil, and I'm gonna dump in about 2 cups worth of grape tomatoes or cherry tomatoes. This is where I'm already deviating from the recipe. The recipe called to oven roast the tomatoes. I don't wanna dirty a bunch of dishes and let them go until they blister a little. A little more salt and pepper. I'm gonna lay them down, I'm not gonna touch them.
A few moments later.
That's enough because I'm impatient. I'm gonna dump in my gnocchi. This is 1 pound, and I'm doing the mini gnocchi because I like the size of them better. They're a little easier to eat and they get dispersed a little bit better. I don't know, I've tried doing the regular size gnocchi and it always feels like I'm being cheated on pasta. Give that a stir. Press in a couple cloves, very large cloves of garlic. And give that a stir to give the gnocchi enough liquid to cook. I'm just gonna add in a cup of chicken broth. This is just a cup of water with a teaspoon of chicken better than bouillon. Scrape off any of the goodness on the bottom of the pan. Put on a lid and let that go for like, I don't know, like 3 or 4 minutes. I'm gonna dump in the rotisserie chicken. Am I? Yes, I am. I'm going to dump in the rotisserie chicken and just break it up. It's just 1 pound, 1 pound of cooked chicken. I'm using rotisserie chicken because it's easy and I had it in my freezer, but you can do whatever you want. If you want to start this by cooking just some chicken breast, you'll need 1.5 pounds of raw chicken in order to make 1 pound of cooked chicken, but honestly, you'd probably be fine just doing 1 pound of raw chicken as well. Just, I mean, do what you want. It's your kitchen. Let that go for another minute or so. Bring it down to like a medium low. And I'm gonna stir in an entire, what is this, 6.5 ounce jar of pesto. Obviously you could make your own, but this was on sale. And I'm also gonna add a cup of high protein milk, like Fairlife, or I have HEB, so I use Mootopia. And I'm just using that to get the rest of the pesto out of the container. You could also do evaporated milk. I bet that would make this creamier. Or you could do half and half or heavy cream if you're not worried about the calories. So I'm just gonna let this simmer a little bit until it gets a little closer to the consistency that I want, because it is a little liquidy. I'm just gonna add in 30 grams of a Parmesan Romano grated. It's just pre-grated, it's the stuff in the can, you know? You didn't see that. I'm far more upset about the mess all over my newly cleaned range. That took less than 30 minutes to throw together. It looks like slop, but it's gonna be delicious. Okay, let's give it a taste. Like I said, it looks a little sloppy. You can see what it looks like. It's very hot. It smells really good. I like the little mushrooms and the tomatoes. I think it would be better with like half and half or evaporated milk. Like just the regular milk wasn't quite enough to make it creamy enough. Still really good, but I just think it would be better with that. The flavor is fantastic though. You could also just use canned diced tomatoes, or fire roasted tomatoes would be really good instead of the fresh ones. HEB had a coupon for free tomatoes last week and I had a ton of them, so I needed to use them up. But this is delicious. I love the mushrooms in there. I love the chicken. I just love it. These are the macros for 1 serving. This is quite a large serving of gnocchi. That recipe made 5 servings. You could probably do 6 servings for this, but I feel like that would be just a little small. So if you did 6, I would definitely pair it with like a salad or something like that, which actually sounds really delicious. And I may end up doing that later on this week. But for now, I am very, very happy with this. We'll see you guys later for dessert.
Good guys, it's enough.
What is it with you? This is my friend Nikki. If you've never been here when she's been here before. She's a weirdo.
Hola.
There's a reason we're friends. We're gonna try some cannoli dip.
I'm gonna eat it. We're watching Glee.
So these are vanilla pita chips.
Okay, so I ate it.
You did?
I ate one.
You
and
like it?
I did, actually.
Okay, good. Because the cinnamon sugar ones are so good. We know that already.
Here's the thing. You eat one cinnamon sugar, and you have to eat them all.
I'm gonna put
Are
it.
we not gonna dip?
You can dip if you want.
Tink.
I'm not mad at the vanilla pita chips. It could use some cinnamon though. Just a little bit. Please hold. Okay, we're gonna put just a little bit of cinnamon. Oh, did you see it? This stuff is potent.
I
I
like
like it
this.
better without the cinnamon.
I like it better with the cinnamon.
It would be better with the cinnamon pita chips though.
And I think like,
It could use more sweetness too.
yes. At first I was like, now I'm more, you know, because just going like this and having just like a little bit on it is good for me.
Yeah.
When normally if I'm eating queso, I just use a spoon and put it in my face.
And I can only have so many chips to fit in my deficit.
Deficit, smash it fit.
So says the skinny girl.
Sheboygan.
Missouri. No? Mississippi?
Kansas.
Where's Sheboygan?
Hey Siri.
Wisconsin.
Yeah.
I was right.
Yeah.
Did I say Wisconsin?
Missouri.
Isn't that one place with the cheese? I do like cheese.
I do too.
Obviously, I'm sharing this with Nikki, so I'm not gonna have the whole portion. But if I were to eat the whole portion, just the cannoli dip is 129 calories with 15 grams of protein. The pita chips are 140 calories. And then the chocolate chips is another 30 calories if you want to add those on. And then the chips are 140. But you could easily dip this with strawberries. I bet it would be really good with strawberries. You could make like a cannoli lasagna with chocolate graham crackers.
They have chocolate graham crackers.
I have some. I made ice cream sandwiches with them last week. They were very good. I just mixed Cool Whip with protein powder.
This has nothing to do with anything we're talking about. I would just like to say, I like your gray.
You like my gray?
I do. Like, I really do. It is very becoming.
I don't mind my gray.
No. Let me rephrase. I don't like your gray. I think your gray is very distinguished.
Thank you. The reason I started coloring my hair again was because it made it appear less thin.
Has your hair always been thin though?
It just got a lot thinner when I started losing weight, which is a thing that happens. A whole host of things that happen when you lose weight that affects your hormones.
Those
Moaning whores. What? I don't know what to tell you. You can't take me anywhere. But I really like this cannoli dip, I just want to tell you. Do you need more pita chips?
Yeah.
They're in the pantry.
My pants are falling down.
Well,
Pants on the ground, pants on the ground. Look like a fool with your pants on the ground.
Did anybody watch that when it was on American Idol? Were you watching that when it happened? Because I was. Well, that was delicious. Not mad at that at all. I wasn't sure how I was going to feel about it.
It's not her banana crack.
Well, my banana crack probably has 15 times as many calories in one serving as that does.
It is crack.
She is referencing the banana pudding that I make. It's Paula Deen's recipe. So that already tells you that it's going to be...
Fat girl friendly. What?
Yep. It's got cream cheese, sweetened condensed milk, whole milk, instant pudding and Cool Whip, and that's just the pudding part. Her recipe doesn't use Nilla wafers.
That's because she's stupid.
Excuse me, ma'am. She uses the Pepperidge Farm butter cookies.
No.
Now they are good in there.
No.
But to me, Nilla pudding isn't Nilla pudding. No. Nanner pudding isn't Nanner pudding without Nilla wafers.
Okay, so here's the thing.
And you have to use the mini ones because the big ones are too big. They're too big. You need the little ones.
I'm talking about pudding and things that are too big. Pudding! Pudding! That is one good looking dude though. Good job, Jesus.
He did good job.
He did good
He
job.
outdid himself on that one.
You know who else he outdid himself on?
Henry Cavill.
Listen, I think we should all bow our heads and pray to Jesus for thank you for Henry Cavill. But most importantly, Jesus, thank you for my husband.
Absolutely.
Because my husband is real.
He sure is. I mean, Henry Cavill is also
I don't
real.
want to talk about
He's
that.
just not real for you. He's real for his baby mama?
Yeah, who's my age?
What?
Yes!
No, ma'am.
Yes!
He needs to date adults. Not that you're not an adult, but I mean, you're not
Listen,
really.
I pushed.
I mean, you did. You did. You pushed that baby right out.
Oh my gosh.
Look, I helped pull that baby out. Literally.
I
Pushed.
a baby out of my grown
Parts.
Look at him. He the goodest boy.
Y'all, this dog is the picture of patheticitude.
Patheticitude.
What you doing, baby boy?
Was you a handsome man?
I love you.
Do you miss Bailey? Do you miss Uncle Tanner? Do you miss Uncle Tanner?
If you get him all riled up,
I just want to give him so many kisses.
no, he's ready for his final ambulatory of the day is what it is.
I would like to say that I always enjoy days where I eat with you.
Yes.
And hold on. There's never a day that every day that we spend together, there's some sort of
Form of eating.
Thank you.
I feed people. It's what I do.
If I could turn back time.
Okay. Bye, guys.
Well, hello, friends. It is the end of the night. We have made it through the day. It is almost 9 o'clock. It's like 8:45. And I am sitting here eating some drizzlicious s'mores. My 90-calorie little treat. Nikki just left for the night. The little powder on it is like graham crackery crumbs. This whole container is 90 calories. And so I will sit here and munch on it. I wasn't really even hungry, but it just sounded good. Like it sounded good, like a little treat. I just wanted to sit and talk to you guys a little bit about where I ended up for the day calories wise. I use Macros First as my tracking app. And for the day, I ended up at 1,783 calories, 113 grams of protein, which is a little low for me, 168 carbs, and 78 grams of fat. That is at 24.8% protein, 36.8% carbs, and 38.4% fat. I know that meal planning and calorie tracking and trying to get your macros right and all of that can seem really super overwhelming, especially if you try to go from 0 to 100. If you're not doing anything right now, like if you're not tracking, if you're not meal planning, if you're not meal prepping, if you're not doing all of those things, don't try to do it all at once. Take it in pieces. If you have never tracked before, my recommendation would be to track your food just as you're eating it right now. Don't even try to change your eating habits. Just get a look at what your calorie intake looks like as it is. If that's not the thing that you want to start with, then maybe you start with taking a look at calories that you take in that are excess. If you're somebody that drinks a lot of soda, I don't like Diet Coke, I don't like Diet Dr. Pepper. However, Coke Zero, Pepsi Zero, Dr. Pepper Zero, those are delicious to me. And in fact, I prefer Dr. Pepper Zero to regular Dr. Pepper now. I'm somebody that mostly drinks water. I do put flavoring in my water, maybe find some of those flavoring things. The Great Value Southern Sweet Tea one is absolutely fabulous. If you're a sweet tea fan, I highly recommend that one. And don't listen to those people that tell you that if you put flavor in your water, it ain't water. It doesn't molecularly change it. It's still water. It's still hydrating your body. So if it will make you drink it, then you put some flavor in your water, honey. Don't let someone tell you how you gotta eat. You eat however you can, because ultimately the only diet that's gonna work is the one that you can stick to. Thank you so much for being here, for supporting me and my content. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye guys, I love you.
We're on a journey, looking back on the things that we've taken for granted, but feels like we're learning to be better.